Hello, shooters, loaders, and casters. Welcome to the Friday night live stream for the Georgia Shooting Connection. And we got quite a few guests tonight, but as always, we're going to start it off with my buddy Chico right there.
Cool. Um, I'm pulling up the external chat. So everyone, thanks for joining us for another Friday night Georgia Shooting Connection. It is Black Friday, and somebody probably, or some of you may have been like deal shopping. I haven't, believe it or not. I'm waiting for Monday. So thanks for joining us, everyone. I hope everyone has had a blessed and a less stressful holiday than previous week. So we appreciate everyone being here, and I make it easy. My brother Squatch, how you been, man? Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Well, it's been a good week. Thanksgiving was good. No major scares of the COVID or anything like that. But usually on Black Friday, as I was growing up, my grandpa always called it Black Powder Friday, and we'd always tune in our muzzle loaders for deer season, which is going to be Monday. But today I spent time tuning in that 350 Legend upper that guy sent up here, and got it all dialed in, and I'm loving it. And Jamie's going to be on my Christmas list for sure this year.
Say it ain't so. So we got Kyle's done went off and muted himself. So we got a stranger, one of my brothers from another mother. Josh, where you been so long, brother? I heard you run off and got married, and
I ran off and got married. I sold my house, moved down the road a little ways, and just getting all settled in and everything. Been married a little over a month now, about 40. I don't remember what it was, about 50 days or so. But it's nice. I do recommend it.
I was going to say it's pretty bad when you count the days.
I heard someone say it.
we got another guest just joined the panel. We got Miss Thack over there. You may have to turn your volume down a little bit, or somebody. It wouldn't have been you, Thack. You got earmuffs on.
Yeah.
So, Thack's kind of new to reloading, and we got some real true to life experts on here tonight that can answer any question that you might can come up with. So, you think of anything? How you doing, Thack?
I'm doing okay. How is everyone?
Great.
Well, we're better now that you're here. Do you know 243 Outdoors?
No, I know Squatch, Chico, Kyle, and you.
Well, let me introduce you to Josh. Josh is one of the guys. He's just been out of touch for a little while. So
Okay.
he's just like the rest of us, except for he can shoot better than most of us. So, if you got any
nice
questions,
to meet you, Josh.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Josh Thack is from AOK Foraging and Adventures.
Yeah, I'm familiar with when they were on Kyle's videos there. What's that been, a year ago or so? Yeah.
Yep.
All right, and we've also got some more guests invited. So I don't know if anybody else comes in, I'll swap back and forth with them for a while. So Dave.
Newbie, run, newbie.
So that got the same trimmer that Chico and I have, the Hornady Camlock. So she may have some questions about that. Chico, are you having any luck getting yours to be more accurate and uniform?
Yeah, I play around with it. I think I only do the 308 on it. I do have the ability to do other calibers, but like when I first got it, I was mainly just doing 308 on it. So I don't have a problem with it per se. The only thing that I had initially, and I didn't read, that's why instructions are very fundamental. so with the Hornady cam lock trimmer, you have to use Hornady's shell holders. That is the only drawback. It's not a big drawback in my opinion, because most big box stores carry Hornady supplies and reloading equipment. So it's not like you have to order like a Wilson Combat or something. You know, I just threw that out there, but I'm saying it's not like you have to order a red and shell holder or something like that. So those are fairly available, or they used to be fairly available. And so yeah, everything works good with it. You know, the manual, the lathe style trimming is a little time consuming, but you got to think with the time consuming thing, it's more precise, so to speak, versus a quick, in my opinion, versus like a power style trimmer or something.
Yeah, I've got the power hook up on mine, so
yeah, I bought an adapter, and you know the thing is, with the lathe style, it kind of sort of like reloading. You know, when you first get into reloading, a lot of people say, "Hey, single stage." Chico, why are you buying that progressive press? You know, but for me, that never trimmed a piece of brass before. When I got the lathe style, I started learning more about the brass and stuff, like it's all kind of weird stuff that it does. You know, so yeah, I like it though.
well, Squatch and I made a video about trimming a couple of weeks ago, and he put it up on his channel. So I don't think I got to tell you what I got, but we got another guest. I'm gonna step outside, and Chico, you run the show, and I'll be right here if you need me.
Sure, bro. So let's see who this other mystery guest is. I got an idea.
Who's behind door number 2?
Hey, you know what? I'll say another thing before that guest comes in. Another good thing about that Hornady cam lock press, there's videos everywhere on it. You know, Jamie has a video. I'm sure Squash has a video, and there's other channels that has a lot of information on it. So there we go. There's a
morning, God. That's not godly. It's not morning.
Hey, Surrender.
It's
How
been
you
a
doing?
long day at work. I'm good, and y'all. Okay, so Jamie didn't have to hop out. It's just there was no way I was not missing this one because I really wanted to watch A-OK.
Oh no.
Well, that's good because I was gonna ask you if you know A-OK.
Yeah, I follow her on YouTube and I watch her.
Well, thank you. Thank you. You know, Chico, I did the same thing. I didn't read the instructions. So I have my little Lee shell holder, and I'm trying to put it in. I'm like, man, their O-ring is too big. I can't get this in there. So I'm like, should I hit it with a hammer? And then I was like, no, maybe I should grab the instructions, because that's how I messed up that lineman. It's probably because I didn't read the instructions. But that lineman, oh my gosh, I just, for some reason, could not get the shell holder to lock in. So yeah, and I of course pulled out the instructions and realized, oh yeah, I messed up the holder, the lock. So luckily,
you know what?
They took it back.
Yeah, that's good. That's definitely good. When you sent me the message about that, you know, I just did a Google search, and it come to find out, even on YouTube and just a regular Google on forums, a lot of people was having that same issue with that same trimmer. So I guess the thing, what I say, and a lot of people said, you know, with reloaders, and this is just my opinion. For instance, I got a Dillon, my first 9mm setup. I've got RCBS dies in a Dillon, you know, style machine. I also have a Lee 9mm full factory style crimp. So, you know, certain products from different manufacturers work. I don't want to say they work better, but they may suit a specific reloader's taste versus another one. I've got an RCBS scale, you know, I've got a Frankfurt Arsenal. So it's just, you kind of got to mix and match and see what works for you. But I'm glad they I'm glad they did take it back for you.
Yeah, this Hornady just works fantastic. I mean, I didn't hook up the power adapter part. I'm just hand cranking it for right now, but I love it. It's much easier to do.
So, Sharinda, what have oh sorry, Zach.
No, go ahead.
How was your holiday?
My holiday was good. I didn't really have plans to go anywhere, and my loving family, we had 3 different family members, unbeknownst to us, cook us Thanksgiving dinner and dropped it off. So there's only 2 of us here, and we were in the middle of cooking, so we're trying to figure out how we can eat all of this food and freeze it, because of course my freezers are now full from the holiday food and all the hunts I've been going on. So I was like, that is so sweet. We really need y'all to coordinate with each other next time, because we have 4 Thanksgiving meals here.
Very
I'm
cool.
telling you, Sharinda, you ought to live in the South because that's how we do it.
I mean, it'd be great if I had children here, but it's just 2 people.
Got a question for Dorinda.
Yes, sir.
Did you get that shotgun put together, or did you have to take it back to the shop? What's up?
No, I got it put together after I got through having my princess moment. I looked at it for literally, I looked at it for 3 minutes. Actually, by the time I looked at it for a minute, lubed it, put it together, and had it done in 3. I was being a diva.
It is a pretty shotgun, that's for sure.
Thank you. I think that's why I was intimidated by it, because I was like, crap, I don't want to scratch the scotch. Not the scotch. I'm sorry, I had to work. I don't want to scratch the stock, because it's not a cheap gun, but it may be low budget compared to some of these other shotguns. But it's the first expensive one, at least in my pay scale, and that's going to be at least for 2021. That's going to be my forever shotgun. I'm just going to be realistic. I'll probably want another one.
Well, for those of the people in the side chat that don't know what you're talking about, what happened?
So I found, that over under I've been whining about since probably day 1 of y'all having me as the guest that won't go home. I've been wanting the over under, and there were 2 that I would like to have. The first one was a Intuition F16. It was made by Blaser, until I discovered it was $5,000. And I hate I ever shot that shotgun, because it mounted perfectly. And that was the first time I had never missed a single clay. Like, I looked like I knew what I was doing, or either the shotgun had a homing device on the clay. I don't know. And then the second one, which ended up being my top choice, was the CZ Sterling. It's the one that's cut for women, but I wanted 30-inch. So I had to wait an extra year, save a little more, because at the time when it came out, they only went to 28. So CZ listened, and I put my money where my mouth was and bought it.
But what was the problem that you were having?
I looked at the thing and I couldn't figure out how to put it together. And because I really didn't try to figure it out, I opened the box, I looked at it, and I was like, I can break down almost any semi-automatic shotgun and put it together without looking at the manual. But I don't know what a 45-degree angle is to connect the barrel to the receiver. But I was being a diva. I didn't even try. I let it sit for 3 days.
So I have a question for a super bad precision shooter. And if y'all don't know, is this guy up here in this corner.
Kyle?
Josh right here. So look, I see some of you may not, but I follow Josh on Facebook also. So I know he's been teaching Mrs. 240, or he's been shooting with Mrs. 243. So I'm curious if Mrs. 243 was a new shooter.
She was a new shooter.
Okay, that plays hand in hand with our topic about gun safety. So did you have to? I'm sure you did, but could you explain how, for a new shooter, how you kind of jumped that gap with, starting out with a new shooter? Because when I first started taking my son shooting, like it's an everyday thing. I'm telling him this when he's playing the iPad, when he's eating breakfast. We don't even have a gun around of us. I'm like, safety, safety, safety.
She grew up in a house. Her dad had guns, but the girls didn't really shoot. So, and she kind of always wanted to shoot was the thing. She was very interested in shooting and wanted to learn. And she's a teacher by profession, so very professional. Listens. Basically, starting with safety. That's the main thing. I mean, when we get a gun out of the safe, we check it. When we put it back in, we check it. It's muzzle control. She's very observant. She's very detail oriented. I mean, and she wants to learn. That's a big one. I mean, she's very interested. One of the first times we went out shooting, she's out, with the AR smacking steel at 400 and 500 yards, no problem at all.
Nice.
And then back in January, I think it was Martin Luther King Day. It was like 20 degrees that day, and we went shooting because we had the 1,000-yard range set up. Second shot, she smacked steel at 1,000. She is dead steady behind the rifle, holds it still, doesn't jerk the trigger. I mean, really, she's a natural. I mean, when I went to Utah, I think I could take her to Utah right now, and if I spotted for her, she'd be very successful.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I kind of knew she was in good hands. I already knew, and it just so happened that it plays off our topic tonight about gun safety. I don't know if a lot of you see some of our viewers, and some are on Instagram and some are not. And I think I seen a video that was on Instagram and Facebook, and it was a firearm instructor, and he took I guess like a student or a customer to the range, and he had an ND right through his arm, right in her chest. Mm-hmm. So with the excess of new gun owners, and I don't knock that at all, safety needs to be like drill, and I'm like not a professional, but I am a safety stand. I can't be a Sally, y'all know that, but like I'm a safety stand. So it's one of those things that we need to kind of encourage people, even though if you're not, if you're at a range and you see somebody doing something unsafe, there's no harm in telling them, hey, or, like jumping in if it can save a life, or, stuff like that.
I mean, that's the thing. You gotta speak up. Used to shooting by myself. That's one thing. There's no one else out. I wasn't a big advocate on chamber flags, but if anybody's with me, it seems like chamber flags are going in because I want to see them rifles empty.
And I know for sure Squatch has a lot of experience in that because he's in competition shooting, also with his daughters also in competition shooting. So that's a safety. Like the one kind of competition shooting I went to, it was all chamber flags. Like they want to see, like nobody can touch their guns whenever you're not shooting. You can't be loading magazines when you're not shooting. It's like safety. So that in itself, I know kind of goes hand in hand. And a lot of you in the side chat, you guys are probably like, why are we talking about that? We are experienced reloaders and shooters, but sometimes we do get a lot of new crowd members or viewers watching our channel, and all in all, we always have to reiterate the safety rules, or everyone wants to be safe. Everybody goes to a range. Anytime I go to a range, I want to leave just like I came, with no holes in my body. So that's always good.
Yeah, I tend to transport my bolt guns with the bolt out of them, which is why when that guy went ballistic on me when we all went shooting, I was like, dude, there's not even a bolt in the gun. Your muzzle was pointed this way. I said, it's a fucking hammer at this point.
Well, I know in our house, we're a chamber flag house because, we do a lot of competition. And I think some of the mistakes that I see a lot of people, especially with their kids, and Chico, you've probably been on this too. And even experienced gun owners, like bringing their girlfriend or their wife and their first gun experience, they're putting a 357 Magnum in their hand or a 44 mag. Be mindful of the type of firearm that you're teaching someone with. Like with my kids, they started with airsoft and BB guns and 22s, and then by the time they got experienced and I put that AR-9 in my daughter's hand, and she shot it, and it was a little bit more percussion. It just excited her. It didn't scare her because she was used to, how to operate the firearm and how to shoot. But putting a 223 or a full size AR in a child's hands, I think you're just asking for a lot of problems.
And I feel like I'm still fresh on the block a little bit, especially with all the different things I venture out into. And one of the things that I never hesitate on, if I'm in a new environment or dealing with even a new firearm, I'm always upfront and let people know as a new person, this is not my gun. I do not know how to show it unloaded. And I also, like when I went on my first wild hunt this past weekend, these guys were kind of all over the place. And so one girl got upset because she got yelled at about watching her muzzle. And she's like, I don't know what I did wrong. And I was like, well, it's kind of 50-50. Was like, they should have known to not stay in front of you. I mean, we were done hunting. They should have been back behind a safe area. It's like, but one of the things I never hesitate to do is I always yell, I'm about to make safe. And you watch all these people part like the Red Sea. So, you have a safe range to unload. And then also you'll have a couple of people that will watch you. And if they see you struggling, they'll come over to help. So as a new shooter, never be hesitant to be upfront and honest. I don't know how to do this. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. Nothing to be embarrassed about.
And then another thing is, don't get really upset when somebody, calls you out on something, because like Chico said, we want to leave the range the same way we went, just a little lighter.
Yep.
Depends on how much brass you pick up.
Right.
Well, depends on whether or not Willie and Chico are with you.
Yeah, and that in itself has been a challenge at the last few times I've been to a range. It's like other people have caught on, and also I've seen ranges that normally don't sell used brass start selling used brass.
Oh yeah.
But that's okay. So
So
okay, there you go.
I've actually been a hunter for a long time. So long rifles, right? I did not pick up my first pistol until 5 years ago, actually. And when I went to go get my concealed carry, it did freak me out a little bit, because the danger point is so much closer to you, So it's like, holy cow. And then the instructor kind of freaked me out even more when he's like, don't be scared. And he threw the pistol in the air. And I'm like, holy, what are you doing? It could catch a branch or whatever. It freaked me out. So then after that, I was still almost more scared of a pistol than when I went to go get my concealed carry, because I felt like he was so careless. Even though he was trying to tell me that it's safe, I felt, and I just felt everything was so close to me, because hunting, that barrel is far. It's like really hard to hurt yourself. Very easy to hurt others, but very hard to hurt yourself. Where the pistol, I just feel like I'm going to hurt myself, And then a lot of time, and then it took like people like Kyle, when I went to visit him, to teach me proper usage of a pistol, how far away it should be, how I should grip it correctly, and all this stuff I thought I should have learned at the class that I didn't learn. And then we shot some onions, and it was great.
Saved a lot of slicing and dicing for that night's dinner.
Yeah.
That's all.
But Sharinda, you said you went hunting. What do you hunt?
Oh, the question is, what don't I?
Oh, yay!
So I'm still new to hunting, and right now I'm limited to only hunting what I'm willing to eat. I've not progressed into trophies yet, but it's pheasant, deer, quail, chuckers. I like geese. I really like geese, and I didn't think I would like geese. I will hunt squirrels, but not to eat them. I'm hunting them to get their tails because I want to make my own fly fishing lures. And then some managed control for coyotes. We'll go do that. And then whatever else anyone is willing to introduce me to. Everything within the last year has been my first species. So if I can eat it, I'm gonna go for it.
I love squirrel. Squirrel's my favorite.
I gotta get there. It's definitely a difference between how city folk think about hunting and how people that grew up around it. I got some lines. I'm kind of like, you can have
Squirrel,
that meat. I'll take the fur for now.
yeah, squirrel is actually very good. But it's just a lot of work for the little return that you get. You got to have like 12 of them to have a dinner.
Yeah,
And I won't eat a city critter. You know, like if somebody were to trap a raccoon inside the city, I won't eat it.
yeah.
But I'll eat one out, in the woods or something.
Do you think they don't eat the exact same thing out there in the woods that they eat
They don't have access to the things out in the woods that
Yeah,
they
they
eat
don't
here
eat
in
as
the
much
city.
processed. Yeah, they don't eat as much processed food to make their meat taste funny. Oh, I like Mike's answer there. Squirrel and dumplings. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, somebody will have to fix that and just not tell me what it is.
coyote jerky? Are you serious, Tim?
Yeah.
I'm gonna pass on that one.
Yeah, that's a hard pass on me.
Mm-mm.
That's one of the I will not eat a coyote in the country.
So, did anyone have any wild game for Thanksgiving? Since we have hunters on here,
we
or
had some
even in
bear,
the side chat.
we had some bear meat.
Bear.
Yep, very good.
I've heard bear was good.
It's a giant raccoon. I don't think it's that good.
Oh. Okay.
Well, Angel's dad smoked it and smoked it right, injected it so it wasn't dry and didn't feel like he was eating a bale of hay. But it was very good.
One thing I would like to get is some elk. I'm itching to get some elk meat. I've had some before, but I wouldn't mind hunting one.
You know why I don't want an elk? My old butt don't want to have to drag it out of the woods. Have you seen how big them things are?
Yeah, but I mean, you've also been hunting a lot longer, so for me, I'm all for it. I got to experience it at least once.
Well, Josh was talking about Utah. So here in Iowa, when we're whitetail hunting, it's like 50 yards, right? So I'm in Utah and I see these guys with these powerful binoculars and they're looking at least 2,000 yards out. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm not in this league at all.
Yeah, I'm in Alabama, so we're similar situations.
See, so I shot my deer at 127 yards, and that's the longest I've ever shot. So deer, so I was like, oh yeah, but man, that adrenaline. And let me tell you, that adrenaline made me pull that 127 yard. It felt like 10 yards.
Mm-hmm.
You were a little hyped up in that video. You took off like a 4-wheeler dragging that thing.
And I'm only 4'11", but it was a small deer. It was a small. He was still with his mama.
But it was meat.
It was.
Have y'all ate any of it yet?
It's almost all gone.
Really? Wow. Yeah. Well, that doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me coming from you.
I actually made some egg rolls out of it.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. How'd it taste? How'd it turn out?
Oh, I think mule deer tastes awesome. It must be the sagebrush that they eat, but it had an herby taste instead of a gamey taste. If it had
anything to do with thack and egg rolls, I told you it was good.
I must add that to my wish of eats list.
Yeah, you should try it. It's nice and lean and stuff. since you declassify it.
Hey, Lee, thanks for joining us, brother.
Yeah, that's what I was making sure. What are we at? Actually, you know what? We're right at 8:30. Let me go through the side chat because
Do your thing, chicken wing.
we
Hit the
can.
likes, y'all.
Yeah, the likes help. Actually, the likes. So look, let me let everyone know we don't make any money from doing this. Obviously, you know, because that's why we're tired every Friday because we've gotten off work, unless since it's a holiday. But so the
Must be
likes and the comments on every video on any person you subscribe to on YouTube, it helps get that video either suggested or it helps put it in like a playlist, an algorithm. I know a lot of people get tired of hearing that, but that's what it is. So it kind of stands out. So even when I have like log in from my son's YouTube page, our stream will pop up probably because I've liked it one time or something like that. So the likes definitely help and the comments. I think the comments help more, but both of them together definitely help. So I appreciate everyone joining. Let me go through the side chat. So that says participants list. I always have to do this two different ways. So the first one is AR Gun 1776, Big Al, Broke Loader, Fuzz T48, Idaho Rogers, James Pollard, Jerry 1911, Kingpin, MH, that's actually Rebel, PC Bullet Empire, Rawless is out there, Thor's X, hey brother, thoughts of an old soldier, Uncle Jim, Uncle John, Vanessa Kitty, Walter Davis, West Covina Dodge, and if I go back to the top, let me see, I'll probably go back to Squash Reload is on the panel with us, Andy 79Z28. We've got Kingpin, Andre D'Angelo, GGW Reload, and OCD Outdoors, Hidden Steel CA, hey brother. 243 Outdoors on the panel with us, AR Gun 1776, Edward Petty, another Georgia brother. We got Uncle Jim again. Jerry 1911, Kingpin, Vanessa Kitty is always here with us. I'm sure Chris 338's out there. Floyd Hicks, Red Raider Reloading, K24, Edward Petty, James Pollard. Sometimes it's double and triple the people. So, did I see something about primers? Uncle Jim says 243 shirt says you got primers. Does it? Oh, it says got bullets.
Let's see, start out one.
I seen the word primers and that just stood out. West Covina Dodge. Let's see. Big E, if I missed him. 6-shooter Texan. Kingpin, Big E. I think that might be all. Let me scroll to Mig is out there and he's normally working on Fridays. I think he did have some advice. He says gun safety trick, don't play with them, operate the tool. So that's good advice from Mig. Thank you, Nick, for being here with us, brother. Walter Davis. I think that is everybody. If I miss you, charge it to my head, not my heart. The second part of our topic was crimp. If you talk about crimping, so I would say I'll go first. You guys know I'm new, sort of. But everything, all my pistol stuff gets crimped, all of it. Some more than others. Just because I'm nervous every time I pull the trigger on a reload. But with rifle reloadings, because I haven't reloaded much rifle stuff, there is a teeter-totter. And there's a split decision based on what you're doing with that round, so to speak. Some shooters don't crimp, so to speak. The neck tension, I know, and I might not know what I'm talking about, but I'm sure Josh can expound on that. And some do crimp depending on what kind of action the gun is in. So that is it for me. I'm that easy. Pistols, I crimp them all. And like lever guns, they get crimped hard. So I don't want any bullet setback or pushback. I don't want nothing to blow up in my face. So what about anyone else want to jump in after that and tell me tell everyone their preferred way or what they suggest?
I'll get in on the rifle side of things. Do not crimp, nothing on rifle as far as it's a copper jacketed bullet. Never haven't seen a really need to. You get into the cast stuff, yeah, you're probably going to need to crimp because you're opening that neck to see them. I'm getting more into pistol reloading. I've done a lot of 9mm, and it's a very light crimp, if anything, just to close it back up. I've started loading 38 specials, and I've just started this in the last month, and been playing around with the crimp. I've had a few bullets not be crimped enough, so I've upped it just a little bit. But I'm shooting a light load Lee 358, 158 bullet. Point of impact has been off on me a little bit. You got to have a 6 o'clock hold. It seems to be hitting the top of the target. And I don't know if changing the crimp will help that or not, but I've been just kind of exploring with that a little bit.
Right on the other side of that wall.
Right on the other side of that wall. Done a bunch of it today. Done a bunch of shooting today.
So I've only been reloading pistols so far. Just learning how to do the rifle stuff. So I don't really crimp that hard with pistols, you know. I'm just a light crimp to hold everything. But I want to thank you guys for letting me come on. I just got told it's dinner time. I need to go. But I will be on the side chat, and so that Jamie can come back in. Chico, I want to thank you for staying up until, what was it, 2 a.m. last night helping me out.
That's no problem. I don't sleep much anyway.
So super sweet of you. Kyle is always there helping me, and Jamie too. And now I look forward to seeing all your guys' videos and following you guys back. But I will be on the side chat, okay?
Okay. Thanks for joining us, Jack.
Yeah.
Good to see you. Enjoy your dinner.
So crimping for me, Chico, on a lot of the rifle stuff, well, actually all of it except for my AR, I do put a little crimp on that, and that's just a personal preference of how I've done it forever. But it's a medium-ish taper crimp, and all I'm looking to do is just make sure that the the case neck is sealed up on there. After you get a good chamfer and deburr on there, it's pretty much sealed up. But I just like to put a little bit on there. Pistol rounds, I think this is probably one of those things that people lose their mind over, especially on the taper crimp. And if you follow any of the Facebook groups, there's pictures on there every day that just make me cringe. People putting just overly excessive crimps on your, like, for 9mm. I mean, really all we're doing is taking the flare out that we put on to put the bullet in. So we're just sealing that back up. That's it. And if you ever question yourself, pull a bullet. If you have a plated bullet or a cast bullet, you shouldn't see any mark in that bullet whatsoever. You might see like a slight faint line, and that's basically just where your the burr of your cartridge was, into that jacket. But that's it. I mean, it's so slight. And for example, on 9mm, I shoot anywhere like 378, 377 if I'm really getting after it. But that's really just closing the case mouth up on the bullet. And I started using a Lee Factory crimp die here recently on my 9mm, and using different head stamps, and they all vary in wall thickness and lengths and so on. And that factory crimp die has been pretty awesome. I got to say, I'm really impressed with that. Even on the Dillon, I think the Dillon presses, they make it so you kind of have to use their dies, but if you're somewhat mechanically inclined, you can just, because they're not really long enough to go through the tool head on the Dillon, just screw the lock ring up from the bottom. But all your auto loading pistol stuff, a good taper crimp. When you get into your revolver kind of thing, your revolver rounds, a lot of those have a cantilever, and you're going to use a roll crimp. And that's a whole lot of discussion. I'm not very experienced on 357, and I do load a little bit, but I'm not. It's not one of my high runners for sure. But I think as far as rifle stuff, the only thing I crimp is 223, and I think it's just because I've always done it. I don't have any rhyme or reason. I know you can do it without crimping just fine, and I've seen guys be successful with it, but it's just something I've always done. So.
Cool.
I use the Lee Factory full length resize and crimp die. I forget what they call it on my 44 Magnum, because I have to use that to get the bullets to fit in the cylinder on my Ruger Red Hawk. It's an oddball mold, but man, those bullets shoot great. They're big and fat and short, kind of like me. But when it comes to rifle, if I'm loading normal jacketed bullets, I really don't. It depends on which rifle. I mean, if it's a semi-automatic rifle, I'll put a little bit on there. But and like everybody else has said, on pistol rounds, just take the flare out that you put in. Is about all I do. Lever actions, I tend to put a little bit more of a crimp on, whether it be a rifle or a pistol caliber, because of the tube magazine. The 6-shooter Texan just said that. I will put a crimp on them, and it won't make you cringe, but it's noticeably crimped. It's not like you turned a 30 caliber bullet into a 28 caliber bullet, but yeah, I put a good little crimp on them.
I think too, talking about over crimping and the crimps that make me cringe, and I see a lot of guys will post pictures and wonder why their cartridges aren't fitting their case gauges anymore, and it's 9 times out of 10 they've got way too aggressive on the crimp, and it'll actually dig into the bullet and buckle the cartridge in the middle. Yep. And that's once you start seeing that, you're way too deep into that bullet.
Yeah, those 44 mags that I load, they're the NOE mold that I got from Full Lead Taco. They're so big that you have to put a good size bell on them, and I think they drop out at 438 or no. The Henry eats them. I mean, it'll eat anything. It doesn't care. But the Ruger Red Hawk, they wouldn't even go in the chamber. I'm like, we're in the cylinder. So I got to asking around to all you guys, and y'all told me somebody gave me the Lee part number for it. And what it does is it totally full length resizes the completed cartridge, and then you adjust the crimp that you want at the end. It's got a sleeve that drops down, and the bullet goes through the cartridge goes through the sleeve, and it resizes. You can feel it. The first time I thought I was doing it wrong. But then I picked up my Red Hawk and went right in. I'm like, well, I'll be. And so then it just says adjust your crimp. So yeah, a little bit more. It's not rocket science. It's not having the information right at your fingertips, because this is some stuff it's hard to learn unless you're doing it. I know we're sitting here telling you all about it and all that, and a lot of this information that we're spewing is going in one ear and right out the other, and that's okay. But at least you heard it once.
I say just play with it. I mean, as long as your bullet's not setting in or you're losing it, see how it shoots. If it works for you, it works.
I was playing with some very.
Can I throw in an opinion here?
Yes, sir.
I think with bolt action rifle for precision, there ain't no need to get your neck tension right, like Mike Hester was saying. Leave a little carbon in there. You don't have to clean it so much, and yeah. But for lever actions and semi-autos like the AR platform, you got to have at least a little bit of crimp. That's those actions are pretty severe sometimes, especially the lever guns when you're poking them up in that tube and you got spring tension on them, and then every time you fire around, yeah, lever actions, you probably need a crimp. And I kind of agree with Squatch and 243. You got just a light crimp on your AR stuff, but I think one is needed. But for bolt actions, you don't really need one. And if you got that neck tension right, and you can go as far down that rabbit hole just like anything else in reloading you want to make sure that you get that neck tension correct. But 1 to 2 thousandths neck tension is especially on all of it, but especially on bolt action stuff, as Mike Hester is saying right there.
Oh, Super Dave had a question for Squatch.
Yeah, I'll clear it up. I was referring to auto-loading cartridges, not the ones in a revolver or a like a lever gun. So those ones I would put a roll crimp on. Hope that clears that up.
Yeah. Yes, it is, Mike. That rabbit hole is, yeah.
And there are two types of crimp. One is just that it's a taper crimp, which means you're taking something that's 1 inch and ramming it how deep into something that's 15/16. I'm just using layman terms here. A roll crimp actually takes the end of the case mouth, and actually makes it bite the bullet. And that's typically on your cast loads for your revolvers to keep them from jumping forward.
And they have a crimp groove.
Right. And all you're doing is rolling the brass into that groove. Just
You're
slightly.
not hurting the bullet that way either.
Right. Just slightly. Don't go crazy. End up shooting a revolver and it'd be buckshot coming out the other end.
Yeah, and Uncle Jim made a great point, crimping on those stuff like any round that head spaces off the case mouth, which now intends to include our 350 Legend. So it's not just pistol rounds like 9, 40, and 45. You got to be careful with your 350 Legend, which does the same thing. So, that can be very. What can happen is you'll have it squeezed too tight and it'll go in there and it'll actually, when it's fired, you're overpressuring because the part that's crimped is actually into the rifling and it'll get too much pressure and it could be catastrophic.
I was going to say you lose your bullet jump and then you end up with one of them banana rifles like what you used to see on Bugs Bunny on Saturday morning. You got to have a little bit of bullet jump, at least 1,000th. That's as low as I'd go. But yeah, if you over crimp it on one from the case mouth, it will go in there too deep and it will overpressure.
Yeah, we talked about 350 Legend one day. If y'all want to go back and find it, there's a video we did of a live stream. Tim, myself, Willie, and Julio talking about the 350 Legend. And we come to conclusions amongst ourselves about what the actual trim to length should be. And it's got to be taper crimped and not roll crimped. And I think it was somebody sent me a Hornady taper crimp die, and that got me off on Hornady stuff. So I'm really liking the Hornady stuff. So that's pretty cool.
I'm about to check my die set. I just picked up a 350 Legend die set. See what kind of crimp comes with it. I haven't even looked into it yet too much.
All right. While I got all y'all on here, let me ask you this. Josh may know I know the Lee factory crimp dies do mostly their roll crimp. They're the collets. So I don't like using them unless it's like something that needs to be, roll crimp, like the 38 Special, 357 Magnum, 30-30, 35, that kind of stuff. I like the taper crimp better, particularly for 350 Legend. I think it's a must. And we have a little controversy going on in the side chat.
There is a very small datum line in the 300 blackout.
There is.
And yes, to my knowledge, that is where it headspace is from. So it's a very fine line right there because you really don't have much to work with.
Yeah.
Taper crimp. Can you explain that a little? I think that's what you meant to say.
Not paper, taper with a T.
Taper.
I'm sorry. He's from Georgia. You can't understand him half the time.
Yeah. Hey, Lever Guns, what's up, brother? So, a taper crimp, I guess Squatch could probably do this better than I can, but let me see if I can find something here. Well, here's some 40 Smith & Wesson with a cast lead bullet. The taper crimp, more squeezes it down here.
Blow yourself up, Jamie.
I don't want to do that. Let me see.
We'll make your picture bigger. How about that?
Okay. All right. See that it squeezes from the bottom up, and it leaves you a good step right there at the case mouth to headspace on, and as opposed to a roll crimp, which actually takes that and rolls it into the bullet at the crimp groove. You notice 9, 40, 45, they don't have crimp grooves. So they headspace off of the mouth of the case. Was that okay? Did I do that all right?
You got it.
Yep, clear as mud. I'm sorry, I had to. But no, you're right.
So, Thack, if you want to come back on here, I can go back outside over here and just pull the levers from behind the curtain. So, yeah, it got quiet in here. What's going on?
I'm listening.
Yeah, she said, okay, taper, not paper. Got it.
Right. Taper crimp.
No, crimping is one of those things I don't have a lot of experience. I haven't crimped a lot of bullets because the majority of the rifle. I haven't even really crimped much for an AR-15. I load lots of 40 and 50 and 55 grain VMAX. I really have never crimped any of them either.
I just do enough to make sure that I took off the taper that I put in it when I loaded the case. I don't really load cast for 223 or 556 because I still haven't found a mold that will shoot well out of any of my rifles that I lost in a tragic gardening accident. So I just put a little small bell in it, and then you can't even feel it. Like if I'm emptying out the 550, you can't even really feel it crimp, but it just makes it smooth. So that's all I do on AR stuff.
I think everyone knows my opinion on the as far as die sets go. What are your guys' thoughts on the combo seat and crimp die?
You can think about it, but don't do it. It don't look good on our highways.
Yeah, I prefer to do my seating and my crimping in two separate steps. The combo die sets are a great value for what they do, but if you don't know how to use that properly, and if you've got case with cases with variables. If they're going to be a different size, you're going to have an issue of not being consistent with the crimp with the seating depth and the crimp. So starting out, my very first set or second set of 9mm dies were the RCBS combo dies, and I messed up a few, and I put them on my wall, and then later decided to pull them and melt those bullets down. But I prefer to do it, with a separate seating die and then the Lee factory crimp. I have recently found out really how to use that die, but like I said, there are some variables. If you got mixed head stamp brass, and even if it's the same head stamp, if it has variables in length, you may have an issue. Not all the times, but you may.
Yeah, what I found is that, that die demands the same length, like you mentioned, and really it demands the same wall thickness on the cartridge as well. But, I found that separating that out, doing the taper crimp, separate, you have a lot more flexibility. And most of us, like for me, I'm reloading a lot of 9mm. I'm not sorting head stamps, just going with it. And this taper crimp, you can allow for that variability back and forth between the two. So, but I've had little success with the combo seat and crimp die. I've did some experimentation using the same head stamps, trimming them all length, and it worked out pretty good. But for what I do, it's not realistic for my setup anyways.
Yeah, Jim's got a good point. It doesn't really take that much extra time. And if you've got room in your press tool head, if you're single staging it, it'll take you however many rounds loaded. But it's really nothing big. And if you've got room in your tool head to put a separate one in there, I'll just seat with one and then just crimp with the other. Jamie, what you got there?
This is an example of what can happen. I kept this hole for a long time, but take a look at that buckle right there. See, not many of us are going to take the time to trim to size our pistol brass. This is a 357 Magnum, I think. Yeah, that's a 357 mag, and I should trim my Magnums. But you can also see right here is a good example of a roll crimp as opposed to a taper crimp, where the crimping die actually rolls it into the crimp groove. And here's one that's an example of a roll crimp into a cantilure, and then that's a 9mm that's taper crimped, and you can see you have the definite step right there to headspace off of. And yeah, Josh, we're glad you did invite yourself, brother. You just let us know anytime you can come on.
No, I was looking forward to it being home to see it live. I haven't seen one live probably since I was on it when we was in Tennessee, so it's been a while.
Yeah, we're going to do that again as quick as all us.
And I'll confess something. I have not shot 1,000 yards since we shot in Tennessee. I have not done it. That's the last time.
Have you videoed anybody being pulled over by the police since we were in Tennessee?
No, I haven't.
Oh yeah, we had a lot of good times.
That was a fun night. We was the most armed motel in the state. I'll guarantee it.
Yeah, well, we got 54 out there watching. It's 9 o'clock. Do you know where your children's are? So, yeah, that was a good time. And Scotsman, welcome in, brother. He was saying hey to you, Josh.
Yeah, hey.
There goes the neighborhood.
Yep.
Yeah, I know the crimping can start a lot of trouble, because I've been in forums and groups, and it's like people are mad at each other. You don't crimp that way. You don't crimp that way. I'm like, if it worked for you, whatever. But that's why, since that was part of our topic, I was like, yeah, let me ask, because when I first did my first 308 loadings, I put like a slight crimp on it, very slight, like just almost kissed the brass just a little bit, because I kind of was like, but it's in a boat gun, so I was like, I really don't want to, I don't want to do it, but it was like, it was that newbie reloader in me with a new cartridge, and I probably loaded up at least 50 308 rounds and shot them. So, but since then I've kind of been not crimping, but I do have concerns, or not concerns. I'm teeter-tottering when I start doing it, for 5.56 2.23, just because of the action, just because of, y'all bear with me, the violent action of that boat. You know what I mean? And it's not a boat gun, but it's gonna be a AR. So I'm kind of thinking that action may or may not set a bullet back. I don't know, but I'm probably just gonna put a very light crimp on those when I do it.
It may set the bullet forward.
Oh yeah, definitely could. Yeah, you're right about that.
And you can check that by racking around and pulling it out and
remeasure it.
But and you know what? Another thing, and see, that's with jacketed bullets. I also have concerns with lead bullets, because I have some 30 caliber mode, but a lot of our brothers have sent me like 55 grainers cast lead for 223. So I'm just like, I might crimp a little bit just to see, but it's all it's a trial and error thing. I'm not gonna load up 50 of them and crimp them all. I'll probably do like 3 of them and see, like Josh said, I'll probably chamber them and see if they grow after I'm shooting it or something. So
when I first started reloading was 243s, and that's been, I don't remember, 6-7 years ago. Maybe not quite that long, but it come with 4 dies, and I crimped a few at the beginning because, hey, they sent you the die. You're probably supposed to use it, but that didn't last probably no time at all.
You found out that not crimping them worked better for your use.
Right.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Uh-oh.
When you know things go south, mama.
Well, when I first did my first set of 243s, I didn't have much guidance, so I was like, cross my fingers, and I think I put just enough, and I called it a hug, just enough hug on mine till the bullets stopped moving. And luck and a prayer, they worked. I'm probably going to go back and revisit them when I finally run out, but
yeah, you just got to play with it. Sometimes it depends on your chamber and your bore too. I mean, sometimes it might need that little pressure spike to get the accuracy that you need, or you might need to relieve that little pressure spike to get the accuracy that you need.
Crickets. Let me tell you what I seen. I don't know if I was on YouTube or Facebook. I said, I've been seeing a lot of reloading stuff, new reloading stuff, but it was like a factory or something. They were making 7.62 by 39 in steel cases, and they had those cases filled to the rim with powder. And they took the bullet and set it on top of the case, and they had a drill press, high-speed drill press. I guess it had some kind of seeding stem in it, and they were just cranking it down. And they were knocking out 7.62 by 39. They was just producing bullet. Yeah, put it on the machine, and I was just like, oh man. I started to go check some of my surplus ammo that I have stashed away. This is like, man, they had that powder filled to the rim of that steel case. But I said, if it works, it works, whatever. So
that's a recipe for disaster, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Let me tell you, if there's anybody knows about recoil, it's Lever Guns 50. All I can say is, Mr. Lever, you know what's working in that gun of yours, so you keep on doing what you're doing, because you're getting great results, brother. And I've already said, you might have missed it, but I already said, and we've already talked about lever guns pretty much need a crimp, at least a little bit.
Has anybody? Well, I think I ask this probably every week. I asked Josh. Have you had any? Well, you probably haven't been buying stuff, but have you noticed a shortage in essential supplies like primers?
Yes, primers are non-existent here. I just ordered some powder from Midway about a week or two. No, it's from Mid-South. It took, 15, 16 days to get it. They're that far behind. But they had it in stock. I've been really checking bullet supplies. Bullets are starting to be in stock online. Primers are nowhere to be found. I stocked up about a year ago. I wish I had more. I got enough to get by, but it's one of those. I've got the notifications on Midway and Brownells, so if they do get anything on stock, I'll probably order it. But no, components are gone. We was at Walmart tonight. The ammo counter had maybe 4 boxes of ammo, some like 270 and 30-06. It's cleaned out. It's gone.
Wow.
Pistol ammo's gone. We've been looking for some like self-defense ammo for 38 and non-existent.
It's almost like it's toilet paper.
Yeah.
So 6-shooter Texan, what we got a lull right here. Let me know how those game changers do in 270. And what weight are you using? I can get the IMR 4350, but not the Hodgson's 4350.
I've got a pound of the Shooter's World 4350. I have not even played with it yet, but
I have some and loaded it in 270, but I didn't like my results very much.
I've shot some 223 with tactical precision and match. I done my Satterley load development on those 3 kinds. It took me 6 months to get them shot, and I haven't got the velocity node's exactly the same velocity on all 3. So that bullet, it's the 68 grain Hornady. At that, it's like, I don't remember what it is, like 27, 25 feet per second. All 3 powders is the load to go.
I really like their tactical rifle.
But I
picked up some of that.
And I just actually shot the last rounds 2 or 3 weeks ago. But I need to get back on that.
Yeah,
I've been blessed to start this whole adventure in the last ammo crunch, where you couldn't find anything, and I had some hookups at gun stores and stuff like that. And hey, got some powder because you could find primers, but you couldn't find powder.
Right.
And then it got to where you couldn't find bullets, and that's when I started casting. And I don't care if a store's got 9mm, 40 or 45 projectiles on the shelf at all. I don't care. But yeah, it's getting pretty rough to find some small pistol primers here. They've got large pistol primers. It's nothing like what Willie's going through in California, where it's $68 a box now. But they are elevated. I think they're $38.99. Which I've got 20. So
in the past year, running about $40 for 1,000. I hate saying that. My local gun shop's usually about 31, 32 for 1,000. But he's sold out and don't know when anymore it's coming in.
Well, the same gun store that has the IMR 4350 had primers, but they were like $65 a box, and homie don't play that.
Yeah, no. I've got enough. If I load up everything I got plenty of ammo if stuff goes sideways.
Yeah, it's the law of economics and economics 101, supply and demand, and hopefully that will all calm down. I've seen a lot of people talking about everybody stop buying. Well, I shoot a lot. I enjoy shooting a lot. I'm not like just stockpiling stuff, but I kind of stopped shooting, sorta. And it's like, man, but let me tell you what I have seen. I have seen resellers that have no qualms in reloading, but they do see that there is profit to be made, and I have seen that and heard that standing in lines. I'm like, okay, so that is you can't do much about that.
Yeah,
But I've
that's when
heard
you
people,
look at them and go, "You one of them, ain't you?"
yeah, I've heard people say, "Hey man, I doubled my money," and I was like, "Well, how much are primers on Gunbroker now?" And I went on there, and they are like $180 per thousand.
What?
Yeah.
Get out of here! I'll figure out how to reload mine.
That doesn't mean they're selling it. That's what they're asking.
Correct. But some of them had bids up to that amount. And I'm like, who's ever the last one in that bid is gonna have to pay the piper on that one. But
Yeah. Have fun with that.
My marksmanship's improved.
I have been shooting plenty of 22. I can see Josh got those triple threes down there.
Do what now?
That Winchester triple threes.
Yeah, and 555s, and yeah.
Yeah, it's a 22, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've been shooting.
I've been shooting some Remington Golden Bullet. That's what's been in the ammo can lately.
Let me see if I can show my scope without showing what it's on here. There you go. I got mine, Kenny. It finally came in. And it is a tank. It's 14 inches long and weighs 2 1/4 pounds.
It's a boy or a girl? I'm just kidding.
Obviously, that's a boy dog.
Did you say what kind of scope it was, Jamie?
Say what?
Did you say what kind of scope it was? I didn't hear you if you did.
That is an Arkin SH4. 6 by 24, 6 through 24 by 50. And Eagle Eye said that they're raising the price on them. And when I ordered mine, it said 4 to 6 weeks lead time. So for that scope at the price that I paid for it, I thought, well, that's a no-brainer. So I ordered it through Kenny and paid for it. But it took 10 weeks to get here, just about to the day, like maybe so no, that one hadn't been named yet, Scotsman.
Yeah, I know I want to go grab my shotgun and just throw it up in the screen, right? Just
yeah, well,
driving me nuts.
Tell us about your little adventure.
Oh my! So
Your
last week when I wasn't here loitering, I was actually in Colby, Kansas at the Governor's Ringneck Classic, and I was just supposed to be there to talk about our organization Wilderness and network with a few people. I had no idea that Aurelia Skipwith was going to be there. She is the director of the Fish and Wildlife of the United States. I fangirled a little bit. We had dinner with her. We had drinks with her. Hung out with her after the banquet. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool person to hang out with. Talked politics. Talked conservation. So I fangirled a medium bit. It wasn't a little bit. I didn't post those pictures on social media because I didn't know how, she or the government would feel about that. But it was cool.
Hey, Marvin, welcome in, buddy.
Good to see you.
Yeah, I know. Josh sent me a deal for a scope, and I said this must be a good scope.
Still available. Still on.
Yeah, I just checked, and I'm gonna post it right now in the side chat. Because now I'll tell you when I post this,
I have
on Midway
for $469, and it's like $250.
What it'll say is a one-time offer, and I'm telling you, when they're sold out, they are sold out. They will never be that pricey. I bought a lot of stuff from Midway on those one-time offer things, and one time I bought some CZ magazines for like $10. You've never got a CZ magazine for $10 ever. You probably can't even get the replacement spring for it for $10.
Every now and then you can find some good stuff.
Yeah, so he sent me that scope, and I sent it off to a lot of people that I'm in other groups, and so it's a Citron scope. So if that may get y'all to move over, I don't know, but it's
Hell,
nice
one of them's already out of stock.
Yes, it's 2 different versions.
I have the one that goes up to 10 power, and this one is 16 power, which is the exact same scope. But I bought mine on sale for $469, and then it's $250 right now. It's another $200 off.
When I seen it, I said, "This has to be a good scope." Josh sent me this in a message. I was like,
Okay, we got KFW's joined us. Ozark Spirit has joined us. Big Al is back. I'm thinking Andy is probably still out there. Where is Willie?
Willie's turkey stuffed.
There's Conservative Sniper Hunter just joining us. I gotta tell you, that's the scope I shot on your rifle, right, Josh?
I gotta think here because I've changed the 6.5 Creedmoor's got the 6-24, and then I believe my Ruger Precision rifle, the 22, had that Citron on it.
I know it was a Citron. I don't know what the magnification was.
Yeah, it was the 6-24. That was the S3. That was the higher dollar one.
Excuse me.
All I know is with a wind blowing from left to right at least 10 miles an hour that day, and it was hot. It was dang hot. I shot a group that was 9 inches wide and 4 inches tall.
Right.
So I'll take that any day. It is unanimous, Josh.
Did I miss something? Let's see.
So that link is for the Citron scope?
Yes, it's the S-TAC.
Okay.
They don't have as much adjustment as the S3, but there's plenty there.
Put you a 20 mil
20
scope.
base, and that'll take a Creedmoor 308 well past 1,000.
Yeah, I'm thinking about ordering me a 20 MOA base rail for mine.
That was so funny when we were out there. Jamie's trying to shoot. I'm like, "You're all over it. Just hit the target." And he said, "Kyle, I'm aiming at a leaf above the berm."
That was with my 270.
God, that was funny.
Well, now that I got this shotgun, I'm focusing on accessories.
There's Curtis. What's up, my brother?
But I've heard you guys talking there the last week or so, like Kyle was talking about the SWFAs. I have 2 of those and excellent scopes for the money. I have a 20 power and a 16. The 16 is probably my favorite. I don't know. It's that perfect range.
I'm used to the 10 power, and actually SWFA is who made had the military contract. And I looked through your scope. I'm like, this is cheating.
It's clear. But it seems like as magnification increases, your clarity goes down a little bit. The SWFA, the 16, in my opinion, is a lot clearer than the 20, but they're both excellent scopes.
Yeah, I love my fixed 10 power. I would put that scope on anything. Be like Frank's Red Hot.
Right. And actually, my 16 was bought off their used site where people trade them in.
Right.
It was basically like new and $100 cheaper than a new one. I mean, there was no visible marks on it. You couldn't tell.
I mean, it's a $300 scope, and you're like, man, that's a lot of money for a fixed power scope. Then you get it, and it's like, man, that's clear as day.
And today's the day to buy one if they have them, because FWFA has fantastic Black Friday sales.
Yeah.
Dang, Big Al, you can hit a gnat in the butt at 2 miles with that rig.
Good Lord. No, I take that back, Josh. That's cheating.
Yeah.
Yeah, Curtis, that's becoming one of my favorite rounds. Of course, I like them all. What can I tell you?
So,
Yeah.
anyone doing any? Jamie, are you doing any hunting tomorrow?
I think I'm going to try to go to the range tomorrow. You interested?
Yeah, I need to go. I need to go to the range always, but Saturdays are the worst for population, if that makes sense. The crowds are just there. Which one are you thinking about going to?
John's Mountain.
But then again, you know, a lot of people are limited on their ammo, and so it may not be that busy unless they're shooting 22s.
And a lot of people are out hunting too, so it's a crapshoot when you go up there. I've been up there on a Wednesday evening, and the place be just covered up. And I've been up there on a Saturday morning, and there not be anybody there. It's very weird.
Let me ask the boss real quick. Come here, man. What you want to do tomorrow?
Carter.
Look, who's that right there?
Jamie.
What do you want to do
Carter.
tomorrow?
Jamie.
What do you want to do tomorrow?
PlayStation.
But we don't have no PlayStation no more. What do you want to go do something? Look, come over here. Because one of our topics, come here. One of our topics.
Uh-oh. Think you unplugged your mic. Can't hear you.
What about now?
There
All right.
he is.
All right, look. Can you help us out and tell us just one rule of firearm safety?
Firearm safety into the ready to shoot.
Keep
Your arm off your
finger.
Keep your finger off the trigger. Onto to ready to shoot.
Good job. One more since you're here and you got everybody attention.
Three all gone as if they're loaded.
Okay, good job. You want to go shooting tomorrow?
Yes.
Or you want to play PlayStation? Go on, boy. Go. I'll think about it. Go on. That's all he said. He was like, "Go shoot." I was like, "Man, it's Black Friday." So, I'll let you know, Jamie, before tonight's over.
Okay.
So I seen Kenny out there talking about CV Life. Remember a while back, I think it was Ozark who was talking about that Field Sport red dot. It's an Amazon $20 red dot. I picked up one of them for my PC carbine 9mm, and it's been a really good one. Went out the other day. It was a little like it'd been raining, a little foggy out, and that thing fogged up instantly when I got outside. And I was a little disappointed in that. I've had it for a couple of years, but it's been sitting in here, and I think it's cleared up, so I can probably put it back on. But that's kind of what you run into on some of these cheaper Amazon deals.
Yeah, I only have one cavity mold GGW, but one thing I like about one cavity molds is they really are consistent.
One cavity mold, Jamie.
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm. It's 165 grain for the 8mm Mauser.
Okay.
You know, I always forget, and I know this is gonna sound horrible, but conservative sniper, I also have a Springfield AR-15, the Saint. I always forget to mention it.
Yeah, you could trade that in on a pretty nice shotgun.
I ain't trading that in. I only got it because everybody else had one, so it was I want one too, and I had to retire it a little bit because my 223s was getting got to get that red level.
I was telling everybody in the pre-chat that Santa Claus done stopped by, left some presents in my truck. Chico, you've already sized these?
You've got 2 packs. One of them is size, and the other ones are not size. So it should be it was 2 packs, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it should have a little note in each one of them. One of them says size, and one of them don't say size.
Okay, all right. I opened up the sized ones. I was like, those drop that? What mold is that? Because I need that mold when I size them.
Yeah, that's a Lee 452-252 semi-wide cutter. And then I brought your mold back. So I was like, I've had his mold long enough. Let me take his mold back.
Well, did you cast enough out of it? I mean, that's a good shooting bullet.
Yeah, I did. I cast a good number of those, and I have yet to load them. If a lot of y'all don't know, Level Guns is on here, and I've commented on one of his videos. My Rossi 92 lever gun in 45 coat. It is horrible on the brass so far. I have yet to shoot it, but when I first got it, it was the previous owner kind of boogered a lot of stuff up. It wouldn't cycle anything, factory ammo or any kind of dummy rounds. And I've smoothed out or kind of slicked up some of the some tolerance issues, so some of the metal in different places, but it's just rough on the brass. And these are just dummy rounds that I'm chambering in them, and it's like, man, it's banging them up pretty good. So I have yet to load anything live for it. So I may have to pull it back apart and slick something like it may have a rough edge on the ejector or the what is that other? Is it the ejector? Or I know Uncle Jim. I was in Uncle Jim's side chat one day. He was telling me something. So if those work for you, Kyle, let me know. I can make you some more. I can let you borrow the mold. But I wanted to get your mold back to you. So
I appreciate that. I wasn't worried about it. I got a whole box full of those bullets sitting right here. It ain't like I'm on a run out. You can't shoot but 6 at a time. Or at least I can't, but
Kyle, Tim Man's asking you, how are you on 38 special brass?
I just responded with I'm good, but always willing. No, when everybody came down, Scotsman, Willie, and Chico, and you, everybody brought 38 brass. I got this much. Which as little as we're going to shoot that thing, that should be plenty. Don't go out of your way, Tin Man.
Yeah, I brought him some and then gave him some more, and some other folks have sent him some. But
Chico's brought me some. Scotsman brought me some. I've got plenty, but don't go out of your way. But if you got some that you just fixing to throw in the trash, I'll take them and pay you back for the shipping.
Oh, you're talking about bullets.
Oh,
bullets it is. I got probably what, Kyle, 4 or 5 molds he can borrow anytime he needs it.
I haven't bought any molds yet. Jamie was a great brother and brought, I don't know, 4 or 5 different sacks of bullets over here for me to try out. And so far, I've only tried one, and I really like it. I can't wait to try some more. But me and her got to be able to get to the range with her work schedule and mine. It's always hard. Now that the time's changed and all that, the Johns Mountain closes early. They close at 5, I think, now.
Jamie, can you put that coming out up West Covina Dodge? It's at 927 timestamp.
Hold up, let me get mine checked out first.
I'm about to tell y'all about this. Listen, I did a video over 2 weeks or a month ago. These crates were on sale. 3 days later, the price went up to like $60.
Mm-hmm.
I left the video up on my channel and I just kept watching it. And I said that they're probably going to go back on sale for Black Friday. But so whenever Amazon has this sale, Midway has the same sale. So you can get them from Midway for the same price also. But Midway had went up in price too, like $68. It was like 3 days after I posted the video. So if y'all need those are, some people don't like plastic crates, but you like for 22 and brass. And I put 9 and everything else in it too. But those crates is the value for me, where you can pick up
is it 4 packs or the 3 packs, depending on
it's a 4-pack. Thanks, Pat, for putting that out there.
That's a hell of a price. If you've been looking for them, and they're actually very quality built. I've got them filled with 45 and 40, and you just, if you want to, you can pick them up and move them. I just leave them in the crate and get one person on one end and me on the other, and just drag it from the car, the truck, or whatever right to the shooting range. So.
Yeah, it amazes me how that stuff changes. It was 3 days after I put that video up, I went and checked, and it was like $68. I was like, no way. So
I remember that.
All right, Pollard and Eagle Eye. Are y'all talking about those? Are y'all talking about the CV Life scopes?
Yeah, they had been talking about in the chat there.
Eagle Eye scope.
I've got one on my 300 Blackout. It's just I think it's a 1x4, but it is actually extremely accurate. Holds accuracy well, and the turret's actually tracked. And it was $26, I think. Illuminated reticle and laser. That's what I use to coyote slay when I'm down south.
Conservative sniper hunter Sharonda shoots clays all day on Saturdays with a 12 gauge. She can handle 30-06, I think.
Yeah, I also doing that waterfowl 3-inch shot. That my shoulder is tougher than most men's.
But I will tell you though, 30-06. I use it deer hunting, but I'm thankful that my scope is sighted in, and I don't have to shoot 20 or 30 rounds of it. Yeah, so we usually have a skeet shoot at our men's ministry at my church, and we'll go out there and shoot skeet all day. And I've invited Chico and Kyle. I hope they get to come to the next one. They always have some great door prizes, and I won an Ontario Knife Works knife at the last one. But yeah, 100 rounds of 12 gauge hurts, and I agree with you, Sniper Hunter. That's they're very similar. I'll put it that way. They hurt after a while.
Yeah, I think on an average, it's winter, so my sporting clay league is over, but average a week, I'll probably shoot about 200 12 gauge rounds, 100. Actually, that can be in one night because we'll goof around and then we'll get serious. So that's about 200 a week. Good night, A-OK.
Night, A-OK.
Good night. Thanks for coming in. We also need to thank Squatch Reloading for joining us on the panel for a while this evening. He wouldn't have left except for his internet starts going crazy. He's got kids, and when they all get on there and start trying to do that thing, it gets thin, shall we say?
They get the Carter syndrome.
Yeah, kind of.
I can't get him.
I can't get a second in here. I just want to say goodnight to Heck. Damn.
Yeah, I have to pause his stuff when we do these live streams. I have to go on my phone and go to the account and pause all his devices because he'll run both of them. His school computer and everything. School computer, iPad, Leapfrog, all of them at one time. I go
Hey,
and
he just
pause
working
all the
on his
internet.
multitasking.
He does, yeah. So.
Oh, Chico, I was looking for primers online, like you probably do, and I found some in Canada, and it said, "Will not ship to U.S." All capital letters. Don't ask. Don't try. I laughed.
Now, was this on Gunbroker or?
No, it was a individual site of a business, but yeah, I thought that was pretty good. It's like, don't ask because we won't do it.
And I'll tell y'all something too, man. Because of everything that's going on, if y'all didn't know, like I think my last video, it was a rant sort of, but there are a lot of scams out here that's been soliciting business. This guy sent me this thing, just like he's posting pictures of ammo, and I'm like, are you just taking pictures of ammo, or are you selling it? And he was like, I'm selling it. You want me to send you the price list? And I'm like, yeah, send it to me. And he sent me all these price lists with primers for $50 per 1,000. And right now, I'll buy 50. I'll buy 1,000 primers for $50. Even though I have some, but I was like, okay. I said, what brand primers you have? And he was like, it's in the list, and it just said primers. I was like, yeah, let me mess with him now, since he wants to be a jerk, But
it took me a minute to figure out that was what you were doing.
I was going back and forth with him,
Crazy stuff.
Yeah. He had 380 for like 38 cents a round. I was like, no way, bro. Like I know better than that, So it's and there was a company, I think I was on the Cast Bullet forums. Somebody posted this link to a company, and somebody already did the research on the company. They were just the website just was built less than a month ago, and they had got a lot of people's money for primers, and the main thing they were selling were primers. And then somebody reported them, and it found out they had already made took advantage of a lot of people's finances before they were shut down by some kind of federal trade, whatever it is, that they were reported. So y'all be careful. You like only buy from reputable sources. But Canada sounds, that's too far where I would drive there. Not just playing.
Road trip.
You're right. Yeah, we'd be in trouble coming back through. They'd say, pop the trunk, yeah. Chico. We see you on Instagram.
Yeah, that would be fun. We'd stop and get Josh. Go on to Canada.
Yeah, so, I'm expecting stuff to turn. I'm always optimistic about stuff, but if you haven't learned anything from this, like I remember about 4 or 5 years ago when the 22s were the big item, I was like, I'm never gonna be without 22s, and I've got a lot of 22 ammo. So, but I just wish I would have had my primer supply up like I have my 22 ammo supply up. So
I stocked up on ammo 4 years ago before the election was really good, and then I think it was Georgia Boy was put your hay up when the sun's shining about a year ago, because we knew all this was coming. Every one of us knew. And
just little by little, So
I think it was last fall. I mean, I made a huge order, probably way bigger than I should have, on just supplies, and I'm glad I did. Wish I'd got more, but
Hey, every time I go to Walmart or even my family, I'm like, if y'all see that red box of Federal, grab me about 100 for shells for $20, because I'm like, them was probably about to be short necked, and I gotta make sure I'm ready for this spring.
Yeah,
we shoot a lot of the CCI standard velocity and the that Ruger Precision rimfire rifle. It just loves that ammo, so I grab every one of them I can get my hands on.
Yeah, I've got a lot of it.
10 Man had a question.
Oh, we missed 10 Man.
Look at Preacher's Day off. For a man of God, he has a mean streak, doesn't he?
Oh, is Preacher is still on here? He made me buy that squirrel, that squirrel gutter, or what, I can't think of the name of it right now, but that unit that he was talking about that he guts his or strips his squirrels with, I bought one of those.
Tom, I'm sorry you're not getting notifications. See, YouTube's doing us that way. I've been subscribed to your channel for a long time. I don't know that I've ever gotten a notification. So we had a couple of guys drop off. Internet's getting bad, and So I think anyway, Tin Man had a question. If your local gun store had primers for $90 for 1,000, would you buy them?
Nope.
And I've
Nope.
already answered that question because my local gun store had them for 65, and I didn't buy them.
Hey,
Yeah, that's
Josh,
a
let me
little.
show you something. I went into shotgun slug loading.
Right. Cool.
That's 580 grains of, oh my goodness.
Hang on.
Whew. And the loads that we shot when guys were down, oh man, they were stout. Even Willie goes, I don't want to shoot another one, thanks. Mark shot one out of his rifled barrel, and it ended up being,
But back
good
to
Lord, like
on components, if you're in need of something, you can't drive every Saturday a tank of fuel looking. If someone has it for 50 or 60 bucks, you need a brick, buy that one brick. Don't.
Mm-hmm.
That's because we used to chase 22s. We done it for fun more than anything. We'd hit all the Walmarts on a Sunday that we could just for fun. Just we might find a brick here and there, but we was just out for the day. But you start figuring in a meal and gas and all that, it adds up.
Mm-hmm.
You got a lot more than 68 bucks in that brick of 22.
Yep, or primers or whatever it may be. And I bought some powder the other day. I bought 3 pound, and I paid hazmat. And there's a shop within an hour I could probably go, but I'm thinking I'm going to eat a meal out. I'm going to drive there. Hazmat was cheap.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Especially if you take anybody with you, because then I would buy that food too. There he is.
Hey, Willie.
Willie, let me tell you something, brother.
Excuse me.
Every time you're late, you're the story. Everybody's talking about you, man. Not really. Good to see you, Willie.
Hey, Willie.
Hey, let me ask you guys a question. Maybe y'all might know. Do y'all remember roughly around when Hodgdon had primers or manufactured them?
No.
I found some packs that I'm trying to see if this guy will sell them just for a collector's item. They can't even find a price to even compare them with on the internet. They looked brand spanking new. I mean, not that I would load them, but I thought that was neat. I'm like, Hodgdon had primers?
I'd load them. I'd shoot them.
I also want to keep my guns. And one,
I'm looking though. Hodgdon primers.
I mean, I know I can ask them, but I figure some of you OGs would know off the top of your head.
How does the packaging look, Serena?
The packaging looks like they just manufactured it. It's ridiculous at what condition they in. Matter of fact, I took a picture, I think. Let me see. Did I?
Is Uncle Jim's out there? Uncle Jim didn't say nothing about that yet.
I'll get a picture tomorrow.
Yeah, I just did a Google search. I don't even see it yet. It normally would, but I do have a few old boxes of CCI, and I've pulled the trigger on, and they go bang. It's real. It's so old. The box is real small.
You mean like these?
I think I will hold on to those because they were just neat to look at.
Yeah, did I give you those, Kyle?
Yes, sir.
But I have the box I have. I think those are shotgun, but I have a green box CCI.
Oh wow!
And it has the price tag. It's like 49 cents or 99 cents or something. It's weird.
I found a picture online of what the pack looks like. Jamie, I'm gonna drop this in the private chat if you wanted to pull a picture up.
No, just screen share it.
Oh, okay. Well, let me go back to it and share screen.
I found a picture of the Hodgdon primers just on a Yahoo search and hit images. There's a small rifle box.
Let me know. Can y'all see my screen? I can't tell if it's showing or not.
No, I don't see it.
Let me try this again.
Yeah, that's the pictures I'm seeing.
Oh, it showed up. Is that me? No.
It isn't that, yeah.
Okay. Hold on, where'd it go?
I don't know. It just finally loaded on mine, and I didn't get to see it.
Okay.
Yeah, I seen it when Jamie just showed it. Yeah, that probably has some collector value in the packaging if you get to buy them.
Well, I think they forgot they had them. I just so happened to be looking down and was like, "Hey, how much are these?" And then they were like, "Probably $5, $6 a pack." And I think they had like 5. And I was like, "Okay, I'll take it." I was like, "Well, let's see what they're worth on the internet." And then I got it. We can't find them. They're probably not for sale. It's like, damn it.
Yeah, that's probably been a minute on that one.
Yeah, it was. I would have liked to have. Like I said, they were in pristine condition. Like it literally looked like they just manufactured the package. I was like, these would be nice to have just to collect.
Yeah, that would, because I like those older packages.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's now changing. Everything. Even Winchester changed their packaging since the scare and all of that. So
yeah, I got some in the mail and about lost my shit because I thought the Cabela's was selling me some knockoffs. I was like, wait a minute.
That is old, Rollis.
made in Finley, huh?
How old are those?
Winchester shotgun primers. Oh, I'm sorry. God, everything's backwards. These are some old primers, but I'll probably load them.
Yeah.
May not. They're non-corrosive.
That would be important.
No mercury. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I'm sorry. I misread that. I thought it said no ingredients that cause cancer, but it's not. I'm sorry. I'm in a darker room.
Yeah,
I was about to say, these are typhus in California.
Cal, what do you have on the agenda tomorrow?
I don't know. I was kind of waiting to hear from you and Jamie. I got Taylor here. He'd probably like to come up there too. I can introduce him to some 44 Magnums. I've loaded up a couple. I've loaded up. He's a man, son. I don't know how long it's been since you've seen him. He's like 6'3". I know he can handle it. I got some. I don't know if I can say this on live TV. I've got some specialty shotgun rounds that I've loaded up. Want to try to shoot them and see if they'll totally shred the paper. I got to load some more slugs up, which that doesn't take any time at all. I've been focusing on 9mm and stuff like that because I picked up my 9mm can and almost slung it through the house because there wasn't nothing in it. I've been hooking up my brethren at work and all that, and then realized, oh crap, I gotta fix this.
All right, so that's going to have a video coming out.
Cool. Hey, okay, well, I'll be glad to check it out. Yeah, I partially agree with what Thorzak just said, because I seen something on another video or group I'm in. Recently there was, so just like YouTube has the algorithm, the internet has an algorithm, and Google searches have an algorithm, and I think it's like within the last month they seen a spike in people searching and reloading. I mean, reloading components, bullets, powder, everything, so I definitely kind of agree with that. That's why I said I'm kind of just being hopeful about it. And if I see it, I see it. Those little ignition starters. So
Well, what I'm talking about is I agree. I'm with the Scotsman on that one.
stop buying.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
It's supply and demand. That's what drives price. Like I said, it's economics 101. That's what drives price on stuff. Y'all remember when we had the gas shortage years ago? Pretty much same thing.
Yep. All right, we're down to about 8 minutes, so we probably ought to start.
Wrap. Sure. Everyone, thanks for joining. Let me see how many out there who stayed with us. 43 of y'all. Bless y'all heart. Thanks for joining us for another Friday Jordan Connection. I want to thank our brother 243 Outdoors for joining us. If y'all don't know, man, like Josh helped us out, especially like, a lot of us that didn't shoot long range when we went to Dead Zero last year. Was that last year? 2 years ago.
28
last year.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, so he's always great about giving advice, and he definitely helped me, and I enjoyed shooting 1,000 yards for my first time. So I appreciate the generosity, brother, for letting me use your rifle and showing me a little bit about it. So also Squatch was here, so thank him, and AOK Forage and Adventures. And I put both of their links if any of you are unfamiliar, and I will put them back in there, and I will put them in the description of this live stream after it uploads. So I appreciate everyone joining us, and if y'all have any questions, y'all know how to reach us, and Jamie will tell y'all about that later. Sharinda, you want to do an outro and tell them about all your wonderful organizations you're part of?
Okay, so I'm part of an organization called, Wilderness, and it's Wild Her Ness, NESS. And our focus is to get women outdoors. Y'all hear me talk a lot more about hunting than I do the other activities because I'm selfish, and that's my thing. But we are doing everything from kayaking to hiking to whatever. And if you don't know, if we're not offering anything that any of the ladies are interested in, we've been able to make it happen. We're also sponsored by, which is a blessing, Pheasants Forever, the Kansas Department of Wildlife, and we're getting ready to move over into the Missouri side here shortly. And if any lady is interested in learning how to do something outdoorsy or just meet other women that like some of the same activities they like, they can hit our website up and Facebook page at wilderness.org. And I'm trying to think, am I forgetting something? Oh, and the next big thing we have coming up is that we were able to sponsor 4 disabled female veterans to have, I don't know if that's their first, but they will be going on a doe hunt that we're going to mentor them on. And if they're physically disabled, we also have accessibility to those track chairs. So we're going to get them out there, get them to hunting. And then the week after that, we're mentoring a small group of young ladies. And those young ladies are, I think, ranging from the age of 10 to 14. So getting a lot of activity in the Kansas City area. So if you guys know any ladies that want to come hang out with us, send them our way.
That's awesome.
Eagle Eye, you can't join that group, bud.
I know.
I mean, if he wants to identify as a woman, we're not going to check him.
Good Lord.
I've met Kenny, and that probably ain't gonna work.
But if Kenny wants to come out and mentor us on some long distance shooting, picking scopes and all that, we'll have him.
So yeah, there's your link.
You know, I kind of hate that you can't right click on you guys's and go follow, subscribe to the page now. That is my biggest annoyance with this right now.
Yep, that's good old YouTube for you.
Good night, Curtis.
Yeah, they took that option away. But if you're watching it on the YouTube side, Sharinda, anybody who has a wrench, a blue wrench, post those links. You should be able to click right on it.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that worked.
Yeah, but they took that other option away. Brother Josh, you like to do an outro and
Yeah, I don't foresee any YouTube videos in the future. I mean, maybe one here and there, but nothing on a regular basis. I got a pretty good library with a lot of calibers. There's a lot of videos. They're still getting a ton of views. I mean, I don't know, 1,500, 2,000 views a day. So, I mean, people still out there still interested in it. I'm not shooting nothing like I was in the past. I have slowed it way down. So that's a lot of it. And it just, I won't say it's not as fun. I just don't have the time for it as I did before. And it's priorities change. You know how it is. But
oh yeah, definitely.
I enjoy it. I'm not as active on YouTube as I have been. I catch videos here and there if I got time, short videos here and there. I try to listen to some stuff while I'm driving to work. I usually try to catch this. I listen to Taco's podcast once in a while. Just good stuff. I like Preacher's podcast, or when he's giving his live deals. I listen to that a lot. So I'm out there just kind of quietly watching, but I can be get a hold of. So
living life.
Yep.
Well,
That's it.
Thanks for being on here with us, brother. It's good seeing you.
Appreciate you guys letting me on.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming, man.
Happy to have you.
And I'll let you know when we go back to Dead Zero.
Yeah.
And maybe you can bring your wife with you. And
yeah, I think she would enjoy that.
I think you would too. And I think we're going to have to swing through Missouri and get a certain pink shears and probably throw Tim in the back of the pickup truck and bounce him all the way to Tennessee.
Yeah, but we put a video up for me and my wife about a month ago, so that's the newest thing we got. If you haven't checked it out, it's pretty good. It's a taco penny challenge. We had a lot of fun doing that. So
yeah, she did awesome. That was cool.
She can shoot.
That's why I asked, was she a new shooter? I was like, she's seasoned, but then again, she has Mr. 243 to help her.
A quick story. My dad's got a 22-250, and I was kind of doing a little load development. And, you want a more experienced shooter shooting the load development. We put her on 5 rounds, and she's in groups. I mean, she's never shot this gun before. And I was like, well, I guess you can start doing my testing now.
Thanks, Floyd. Thanks for coming. Thanks, 6 Shooter. All right, Kyle, you want to go next?
I might go in there and load up some 12-gauge slugs for us to play with tomorrow if we end up going. I'll grab the right ammo can for 44 Magnum this time. I don't have Angel's pistol here, so I don't need to load up any 38s. I'm not going to stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning doing it, but 12-gauge rounds you can knock out pretty quick. I've already done all the pressing the slug onto the wad. It doesn't take much time at all. You use a little lead dippers and boop, and then crimp it. But I ain't got anything really exciting coming up. We had our Thanksgiving canceled because of my mother's incident. Ended up going up to Angel's mom and dad's. Had a great time up there. That was good. I got nothing coming up unless it's home improvement videos, and who wants to watch that? That's what I got, dude.
So, Kyra, just some guy. We're here every Friday night, man. As Chico was saying, Kyra is hard to type when you got autocorrect. And like Chico says, thanks everybody for joining us. I'm working on I got a couple of ideas. I've not started working on the actual videos yet, but I've got a test load loaded up for 350 Legend, and I'm about to start on some 7.62 by 54R, and I really need to do some 30-06 and 270 stuff, and of course I can always do some 35 Remington. There's a A lot of stuff in 3032. So there's plenty of stuff to do. KFW, we got to get you on here soon, buddy. Next time you have a Friday night off, holler at me. And so you got a Lee APP too, huh? Yeah, working tomorrow ain't gonna be no fun. So anyway, y'all check us out on Instagram, the Georgia Shooting Connection, and check us out at. If you need to get in touch with us, we're on. Most all of us are on Discord and the Reloaders Network. You can check us at. Send us an email at georgiashootingconnection@gmail.com. Anything else? I want to thank Josh for being here tonight. He made the place hopping. We want to thank Squatch Reloading, Thackett AOK Adventure Foraging and Adventures. Always great to see Sharinda. Each and every one of you guys, I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving, and look forward to catching up with you guys. And we hope God blesses you all real good. And until next Friday night, y'all be safe and well and careful. And we'll catch you next time.